876 stream. Left up.
So, we started out with 32 teams at the greatest show on earth. Now we're down to just 16. It's cut in half. And guess what? Day by day, one more team will get eliminated. All of this and more in this, now streaming Qatar. So, who would have thought? Who would have thought on November 20, 2022, that Germany, Belgium, Uruguay would all be going home at the end of the group stages? Who would have thought the host nation would have an early exit? The Ecuadorians, the high energy pressing team, the Danes. Who would have thought Saudi Arabia would have gotten the better of Argentina? South Korea, rolling back the years of what they did 20 years ago to the Portuguese. Who would have thought Morocco topping a group at a World Cup? Who would have seen that we were on the knife edge of having 3 African teams in the round of 16 for the first time ever in World Cup history? These are things we've never seen in our lifetime. Who would have thought that would have seen a player score at 5 World Cup tournaments? All of these things and others have happened. What a tournament that we have just had. And the exciting thing is, there's still a few more matches to be played. 48 of those 64 have been completed. And when you look at the teams that are left in the competition, you can only wonder what other twists and turns lie ahead. Hello everyone, welcome back to our coverage of the greatest show on earth. This is Now Streaming Qatar. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. This is Now Streaming Qatar, and this is where we start our watch-along phase of the competition. Yes, this is the point where you get to see the reactions, not only of our panel, but of other individuals as well. Behind the scenes, how do they react to goals? You certainly want to get accustomed to that, and we stay tuned with proceedings. This is Now Streaming Qatar. If you haven't already, hit that like button and also subscribe to 876 Stream. Also on Instagram, 876 Stream, and on Twitter, it is Stream 876. Let me introduce you to the man on their panel 4 this morning for the next, I could say, 45 minutes or so, as the United States get to take center stage in their round of 16 of the World Cup. We have Mashal Turner with us. Mashal, how are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, Simon. Back again.
Yeah, great to have you. Firstly, I mean, you've seen quite a number of World Cups in your lifetime. Where does this stack up for you so far?
I mean, I think, well, you went through some of the things. As I said, on Tuesday, we had 16 games?
Correct,
and
yeah.
every single one of those games, people had something to play for.
Right.
In every game, one goal mattered, and we saw that especially on Thursday in the afternoon with the Spain
and Japan
and the Germany and Costa Rica results, and the change in the table as one goal was scored or another was scored back. So it's been excellent. It's been excellent. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So can't complain at all.
And folks, just let this sink in. There are only 5 unbeaten teams left at the World Cup. 5 unbeaten teams left at the World Cup. The Netherlands, England, the United States, Morocco, and Croatia. Every other team, the other 27 teams, they've lost at least one game at the tournament. And this is the first time in 28 years that we're going into the round of 16 of a World Cup, and no team has won their 3 games. Can you imagine that? 1994, that was the last World Cup where we didn't have a team that topped the group with 9 points. The standard, the competitiveness, perhaps taking teams lightly. Mashal, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. You know, we had a conversation about that November, December World Cup where perhaps, you know, when they're playing for their clubs, they're about to get into mid-season form, more or less. Are teams improving, the gap getting smaller between Africa, Asia, and the rest of the world?
Well, the gap is definitely closing. I think we've seen it over the past few World Cups as well, but this one is definitely more instructive than the others that have gone previously. The gap is closing between Asia certainly and Europe. Africa has done well, but not as well as they should, in my opinion, considering the talent available on the continent. It's a wonder that a team like Nigeria, with 300 million people, is not automatically in the World Cup every single year.
4 years, yeah.
It's crazy.
It is.
But so and as I mentioned before, we have an improvement. This is the first time we had 5 African coaches coaching the
Right.
African teams. So hopefully in the next 4 years, we'll see another step up from them. As you said, we almost had 3 in yesterday, in going into the next round, which would have been the first time ever.
Yeah.
But I read this morning that this is the first time there's more Asian teams than South American teams in the round of 16. So it shows again that the gap is closing, definitely. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing for football. It's just a shame that we're not a part of that gap closing.
Yeah, folks, just let it sink in, bearing in mind the teams that are left within the competition as a whole as well. You look at teams that they're in the last 16. We've really, really had an exciting World Cup thus far. And we'll go through in particular, the different groups and perhaps what Marshall would have had in terms of top 2 and so on and so forth. But just a reminder of the teams that have advanced to the round of 16 of the World Cup. The Netherlands, the United States, Argentina, Australia, Japan, Croatia, Brazil, South Korea, England, France, Poland, Senegal, Morocco, Portugal, Spain, and Switzerland. And the teams that have gone home. What a tournament has been with Qatar, Canada, Ecuador, Wales, Iran, Tunisia, Denmark, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Belgium, Germany, Costa Rica, Ghana, and Uruguay. Those are the teams heading home. And we'll have to plan, prepare, and try to qualify for 2026. Well, we know that Canada will be there already.
And Mexico.
Yeah. So they will certainly have their eyes and attention on that preparation in terms from the Gold Cup, Nations League, and they'll have friendlies in between, perhaps even invitations to other tournaments as well, perhaps a Copa America. It's left to be seen how that will be done.
Man, Mexico needs some serious work. This is the worst Mexican team since I've been watching football. Easily the worst Mexican team. So they've known for a couple of years that they have some work to do with Liga MX and its structure and its development of talent. But I think this now is the real indicator that we have a problem. And in order to make a good showing in 4 years, there's some serious work needs to be done.
And you know what I realize as well, Marshall, there's a lot of reliance and faith given to the older guards. So Costa Rica with the Brian Luis at 37, etc. Mexico with Andres Guardado. So they're basically ensuring that they get an opportunity, more or less.
It's a indictment on talent development as well that no younger players have been able to push those guys out. And you have Hector Herrera starting. I think he started all games for Mexico. At his age, there should be a midfielder there in his early 20s, mid-20s, who's starting those games, and Herrera coming off the bench to close up a game at the end and give his experience. So it's been a question mark for them throughout the campaign, the qualification campaign, both those teams, Mexico and Costa Rica, and it showed itself definitely at this World Cup. So they have some things they need to work on for sure.
All right, let's show you a graphic in relation to the round of 16s to remind you of the fixtures that do lie ahead for all of these teams in the competition. A reminder, this is the stage where you win or you go home. Win or you go home. Today, Saturday, December 3, the Netherlands against the United States. That's at 10 o'clock Jamaica time. Argentina against Australia at 2. On Sunday, France against Poland. England, Senegal on Monday, Japan, Croatia. Remember, they were in Jamaica's group in '98. Brazil, South Korea, and on Tuesday, the end of the round of 16, Morocco, Spain, and Portugal, Switzerland. Marcel, in terms of the groups, let's go through them once more. Group A, the Dutch and Senegal advanced. Did you have it in that order as well?
Yes, I had the Dutch first. It was Senegal or Ecuador, so it's not surprising either way. So yeah. Feel that was I think that was one of the easier groups to call.
More straightforward. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, I the reason why I was going with the Qatar is the 12th man and the performances they gave at the Asia Cup certainly gave optimism.
Yeah. There was reason to be optimistic, but they weren't up to it.
Yeah.
And they'll have to go back to the drawing board in order to get back there in 4 years.
Yeah, quite a shadow of themselves, especially the performances they gave at the Gold Cup were encouraging, but
very. But does that go to show the standard of CONCACAF? I mean, it might be a little bit of an indictment on the standard of football in the region that Qatar was able to come to the Gold Cup, do so well, get to the semifinals, run through some teams, and then when they get to the big show,
I understand, but another piece of the coin would say, well, Qatar played Grenada, you'd be expected to beat Grenada, a Panama team that is in transition, perhaps, and they got to a semi-final. Maybe they got as expected, but I get your point though. In terms of CONCACAF and its level at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to think about.
Right, yeah, and only one CONCACAF team in the last 16 of this tournament. Group B, England, USA, Iran, Wales. Yeah,
Wales wasn't getting anywhere. Iran gave good accounts of themselves. Even in the 6-2 loss, they gave to score 2 goals. They gave a good account to themselves. But yeah, the US team probably is the most surprising for me. I didn't like what I saw going in. I didn't expect much. But they've definitely been solid. They're the only team that hasn't conceded a goal from open play. They've conceded 1 goal. It was a penalty, and that's it. No goals from open play. Tyler Adams in front of that back four has been phenomenal work rate, coverage, everything. So they surprised me.
Yeah, certainly they had a great impact. I had England, USA as well. Had Wales actually to finish third, but Iran certainly gave a good impression of themselves. Group C, Argentina, Poland, Mexico, Saudi Arabia. The top 2 from that one was Argentina, Poland. I had Argentina, Mexico. I was banking on them.
Yeah. I would have probably gone Mexico. I think I won't go in Mexico as well because Poland is not exciting. It's one of those European teams, and a lot of the European teams to me play very stale football. They're not exciting. They don't take the game by the scruff of the neck, which is why I'm glad to see some of them out. Poland could have joined them easily for me, but yeah. So that one not surprising, I guess. But I would have liked for Mexico to go through, not only for CONCACAF solidarity, but just because they'll be more exciting.
Of all the matches we had in the group stage, was the Saudi Arabia victory over Argentina the biggest surprise for you?
Yes, definitely the biggest surprise. People might talk about Cameroon yesterday, but it was Brazil B side, so that doesn't really count. Tunisia, same thing against France. South Korea against Portugal. Yeah, I don't rate Portugal that highly, so so that wasn't really shocking. The Saudi Arabia definitely that came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, a big one indeed. Group D: France, Australia, Tunisia, Denmark.
Yeah,
Denmark at the foot of the table.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Denmark was one of my dark horses, considering Euro 2020, which was last year.
Right.
And what they've been doing this year as well. They beat France 2 times in Nations League. They were on a good run. They have a very good team. I think maybe they got distracted by some things. And they weren't in it. They didn't seem to be at the races in any of those games. they're performing at the level that we'd expect from them. So, yeah, very surprising. Australia flying the flag high. Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, Australia in the last 16 of the World Cup for the first time since 2006. So, well done to them.
Yeah.
And let's see how they handle the Lions then today. Quite a test for them. Denmark, you know, for me, honestly, the second biggest flop of the tournament, I would say. But we'll get to Group F, and perhaps you would have a different take on the Red Devils. We'll get to that. Yeah, so I had France and Denmark for that one. Group E, Japan, Spain, Germany, Costa Rica.
Yeah. I'm very high on the Japanese. And if you'll notice, they've consistently gotten more and more players into top 5 European leagues.
Yes.
They have a lot of players in Germany.
Correct.
So they've steadily been improving. As I said, they have a high technical capacity, and they play in a way that works for them. They have a lot of solid defenders as well. So, yeah, Germany, unlike some, I don't, other than Rudiger, I don't think they have any top quality defenders. So I'm not really that surprised about their exit. Up front, midfield and up front, quality galore, but in the back, not so much. And we were able to see that. So, and Neuer might be on his last legs, and he's been exhibiting that a bit at Bayern, but coaches continue to stick with him, even though Ter Stegen is having a fantastic season so far. But it is what it is.
Certainly it is what it is, and we use this opportunity as well to welcome the man of many talents to our set as well, a Spain fan himself, and certainly would love to hear his feedback over the next few minutes or so in terms of his thoughts of his Spanish team moving forward, and a little bit on today, because he'll be in and out with us in terms of in studio and so on and so forth, a man of many obligations, but it's great when we can catch him when he can, certainly with a lot of tasks on his hands, but it's a great to say that we have with us on set with us, the man himself, Mr. Jeff Williams. How are you doing, sir?
Greetings and salutations, and I'm just here. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a Saturday morning, to be very honest.
It doesn't, yeah, don't
Every
it?
day it feels like the same day when I'm
Yeah.
watching football every day. It doesn't feel like December, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true. It doesn't at all.
You know, ball game, World Cup, you know, España, a whole lot.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you're through to the round of 16. Were there bits of nerves? Yeah.
It was a hard fight.
Yeah.
Not gonna, again,
Yeah.
much appreciated. Thank you to all my German fans out there. Deutschland, really appreciate it. But what I want to make sure of is I want the people to hear me when I say this. John World, turn up my mic. I want you to hear me when I say this. Make sure my mic out right now, John World. You're listening to me? Fans out there, friends and family, Spain for the World Cup. You heard it here first. You might not believe me, you know. I'm telling you, we don't look convincing. We don't look convincing. But Spain for the World Cup. I'm telling you.
I think Spain has that issue, and Barcelona is my club. I think we have the same issue against
True.
teams that are against quality teams. There's an issue, not an issue controlling the game, but chances will come.
I can't take them.
Yeah, something is always given away. Something is always given away. So if Spain can't score, then it's a problem. It's a problem. And once they get behind, I don't see.
Yeah, we
I don't
can't.
see a comeback.
Exactly.
I don't see a comeback.
I mean, I'm hoping Louis give them a talk, give them a reason, and get them in the frame of mind. We have a few men on the team who actually care about scoring, which is probably Morata, Torres, and keep the left wing Osman, Oslo, Aswa,
Olmo.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I know the side, guys. Don't fret. Olmo. I know everybody else.
Yeah, you got 9 out of 10 on the quiz, don't
Exactly. I just them three man they alone me think care about scoring. Everybody else care about passing.
Well,
I mean,
Ansu's problem is I don't know if it's
fitness
or
or what?
mental.
Yeah,
I don't think it's fitness.
I think it's fitness,
more
yeah.
mental.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Luis Enrique brought him, but he knows why he brought him because
Yeah.
that man just know
Exactly.
where the goal is.
But we need the
he's
entire
not
team to know where the
feeling
goal
it.
is.
He's not feeling it right.
Precisely. We need the entire team to know where the goal is. But nevertheless, you made a point, and I think Schweinsteiger said the same thing about Germany, that the only world-class defender there is Rudiger, and everybody else is Bundesliga level.
Yeah, it's,
You know,
it's
so.
not. Sule is not.
But just running around, run at 16 again. I think my favorite right now for the World Cup is England, separate apart from Spain.
England?
Yeah, most definitely. I think if they use their talent correctly,
Mhm.
they can beat any team. I'm still very embarrassed for them that they drew with the US. Again, that's a win for soccer in my eyes, and I am ashamed. And I think you all England fans should be ashamed also. And I made the talk here. I don't know if it's feelings, emotions, or what, but US will not make it through their group stage when the World Cup is played in 2026. I said it here first. I wholeheartedly believe it. Any nation that calls football soccer will suffer. I'm telling you, they will suffer. So they're not leaving the group stage
Canada too.
next year, like next World Cup. We again.
Australia too. They call it soccer.
Good
Them
eye, Mike.
no call.
Good
Them
eye,
no
Mike.
call.
They don't count at all.
Australia, they has vibes, you know, as a little sprinkle. Australia not bring nothing to the ball game.
It's gonna get messy today.
Fox. That's gonna be an interesting game.
I don't.
But England is Japan is my dark horse, 100%. Japan. I think not that Japan is talented, but I think they're very tactical.
They know what
They know exactly.
Efficient.
So each game, each player, them know each matchup, them switch
Right.
based off who they're playing. I was very impressed with how they played Spain. As one of the last me can say, yeah man, they want to beat with fear and square.
Yeah.
The cross, me and Richard King talk, and we say, enough player would have give up on the cross. Enough. You know? So the fact that happened and that score, applaud them.
Right.
Them, I'm not gonna say them outplay we, but them match we.
No,
They match we.
not outplay.
Exactly. They match the play, and whatever Spain they play them, they know exactly how to counter it, how to move, the shape of them team. Perfect. So 100%. And if them make it further, the quarterfinals, even the finals, I would not be surprised. Only because they are very tactical, very smart, and very, very purposeful in their football.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting one. Let's take a couple of comments coming in. Some giving their score predictions for the game. Ray Stewart says a 2-0 Holland over USA. All right, Owen Hill says France for the tournament win. Pickings look easy. Owen is sending a message to Mashel. Mashel, I think CONCACAF has stepped up in relation to the comment we were saying about, the Gold Cup and so on and so forth. So progress there. Ray says Argentina 3, Australia 0. Tamaya says England fans should definitely be ashamed of that US draw. I guess.
I'm telling you.
Andrew says, Owen, it does look like France has a big chance, but they have to beat England first. That's right.
I don't think that's hard. I don't
That's
think
not
that's hard.
hard?
Because the mind, well, both of them are kind of conservative, but I think France has more. When it's
When it
ready to
matters.
step on the pedal,
Fox.
France have more
I
to step on.
really hope I'm not falling in the trap, because I think every England fan falls in the trap of thinking that it's coming home every year.
We haven't said it.
You haven't said it?
No.
I mean, nobody has said it. But I'm sure they must say it at Qatar.
Yeah,
I
man,
I
I'm sure.
promise you, if they get over the line of France, then yes, it will be said. I
Well,
promise you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Based off, you see, based off the what them play last? Wales.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
I understand that Wales isn't a top tier team, but to me, Wales, US is maybe like 2%, 5%, 10% better than Wales. Like a next level. If Wales is a C plus team, US is a B minus team. Or a B team. But make sense? Yeah, thereabout. So all me I say though, if England just pick the right personnel, they have the personnel. I mean, you can switch out the personnel based off the matchup, sure.
Right.
But that just show me say if the Rashfords, if the Foden, if the who is playing in the Wales game,
Rashford, Kane, Foden. Bellingham.
Bellingham.
Yeah.
If you put in those
Right,
creative
Yeah.
players, those fast players, those heading to goal players, we'd have a different ball game against the US.
But that's not what Southgate is about.
That's not what Southgate is about.
Methodical.
Correct,
And
yes.
and him stuck in them ways, and what work for him.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that, my friend, may cost you guys the World Cup.
It's the conservatism is it's
Well,
it's
he will
not-
ar-
it's not
I mean,
so
he
cautious
will
what you
argue.
want to see.
I mean, he will argue
Firepower.
until he was a penalty shootout away from a trophy. That's what he will argue and tell you.
Yeah.
That three at the back mentality, that two Rice and was Calvin Phillips at the Euros. He'll say that has worked. So why
And we
go
could
there?
avoid the penalty shootout. When I say we could avoid the penalty shootout.
But skipping over Senegal right now, and
That is true. Yeah,
that is true.
yeah, you're
I
right.
don't think that's a straightforward.
I agree.
I
I think there's two straightforward quarterfinals.
Yeah,
The other six,
Yeah.
are
Okay.
yeah. So
one of 16 games.
yeah. So Argentina has got a bye.
Yeah, Argentina is one of the straight ones,
Yeah.
and France, Poland.
Yeah,
Poland's
definitely. No, Poland. I think
not
you guys have the firepower. England has the firepower. France has the firepower. Who else? Who else has the fire? I think right now those are the two teams that have a plethora of killers, of shooters, of cannons.
Yeah, Brazil
Brazil.
losing shoot, but them losing
Exactly. them are,
Yeah.
but to be honest, I don't think that's a bad thing. Cause here I know one of the biggest things, especially with a not well coached team, is when you have too much options.
I think they're well coached though.
Well, yeah.
And you remember, it's their best player that's missing. The player, the man that everything goes.
Oh
through.
no, me not talk about Neymar never come back. Him not.
Well,
that them I said I'm have to believe that Neymar is coming back.
We'll see.
I'm have to believe that Neymar is coming back. I'm talking about the Jesus and the Tellers.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if Jesus gone, that does mean say
it's not-
Richards
it's not-
sit right back in.
yeah.
Oh, good
and,
there.
and you can move Martinelli into
Precisely.
the middle if necessary. So
So and in worst case scenario, somebody can step up and fill Neymar role. Like not really fill it, but can
but
do
that's the thing.
That's the
they
thing.
haven't looked like
somebody
that
can
fluid
fill it. Yeah.
without Neymar.
Without
They haven't
Neymar,
looked that fluid.
unfortunately.
So
Because
it's a big miss.
even Julian said it the other day where he wasn't necessarily disappointed in losing to Cameroon. It's just that they didn't score against Cameroon, and that goes in game. So that might be the big question mark there. That is it like them can't score without Neymar? You know, that's very unfortunate. But looking forward to a great round of 16. Looking forward to some penalty shootouts.
Absolutely.
Looking forward
I
to
hope
some.
not.
No,
Oh,
I mean not from my side, of
Not
course
from
not.
my side. Definitely not from mine.
looking forward to some great football.
Yeah.
Looking forward to. I mean, right now to me, Spain getting to the round of 16 is a win for me because we have a great young nucleus. Looking forward to winning the World Cup the next
4 years
the next
time,
2
8
World
years
Cups
time,
after that.
yeah.
We just need a few strikers. I mean, one of them want to go up there.
I would even say Euro
train.
2024, 2 years time.
Yeah,
Would be a good
yeah,
chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Looking,
This is good experience for those young
Because
stars.
are the same team that play Olympics.
Correct,
You know, right. So all is well in the Spain camp. Luis Enrique, pick up yourself, my bro.
Yeah. There's a few more comments before we go back to the groups that Michelle was saying. Andrew Johnson says, on paper, France is the favourite versus England, but it's a toss-up for me. On match day, it will come down to personnel, and if Southgate takes his meds that day. What's funny is that we're discussing France versus England as if the tournament isn't full of upsets. They may not even meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, France is going through.
I mean, it could be England, Poland.
Because Poland have
No,
nothing
but
to offer.
well, facts. That alone.
Poland have nothing to offer.
On that basis alone, that they're playing Poland, sure. But them just the Tunisia match show me say yo, we can't call it right now, you know.
Yeah, but it's a B team, and you have Kamavinga.
And then the man them crack under pressure and carry on everybody. Carry on Mbappe. Carry on.
I would have just let that play out.
Facts. I would have let it play out too. Me, I wonder if them bet on the game or something.
Panic for. You done gone through already.
Exactly. Group F now, Michelle, Croatia, Belgium, Canada, Morocco. I had Belgium and Croatia, Belgium and Canada, rather.
No, Belgium, I did not rate pre-tournament, and they have proven me right. They, as De Bruyne said, they're too old. it's been. I don't know if it's been disappointing, the golden generation and that conversation, because they did come third in a World Cup.
Mm.
They've gone to a couple semifinals of our Euro, etc. So they've achieved more than past Belgian generations.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Let me put it like that.
Mhm.
So in that sense, it is golden.
Yeah.
They just didn't win anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting that there's no. Again, it's the same thing with the Uruguay and with the Mexico and
Right.
Costa Rica. The dependence, like Vertonghen and Alderweireld still in your back line,
Yeah.
like as your two main defenders.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Where's the talent that's coming through?
Fucks.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign. Not a
And
good sign.
it's kind of trouble in paradise, and then I'm all over the place because in round of 16, my brain is all over on all of the teams. And
Yeah, yeah.
so 2 points. One, I think I read something today that they said 5 teammates booked an early
separate
flight out.
yeah.
Bro,
Team.
madness going on over there. You know, I just beer problem at the camp. We see the same thing with Cameroon, beer problem at the camp.
Mhm.
And you're right. I think the golden age just them golden now. You know, they're in the golden age home.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Right.
Kevin. I didn't even think Kevin stood out at this World Cup, to be honest.
but I don't think he's stood out
Because-
with Belgium. I don't think he's been put in a position
to stand, yeah,
to
fear,
stand out
fear,
in
and
terms of setup and coaching, etc.
God bless Lukaku anyway. Him there, you know, him I go through it right now.
I think it's a bit unfair on him.
It
being
is,
injured
no.
and then having to come and
Come
try
on,
to save,
man. Come
save-
on.
save
Well,
the country.
fear, you know, fear. I fully understand that he was injured. I fully understand that maybe a lot of pressure was put on him.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, man, let's see the goal then, man. Come on. As me dramatize, the man could have dropped the ball in the goal.
But if a man not play ball in 4 months, good.
And you can't tap a ball in the goal.
Your timing off, brother. Your timing off. Your body mechanics. A
But
little bit-
you're a professional. you're a I know factory ball game and a Duns ball game. So even your C plus rate
man.
supposed to can kick a ball in the goal.
We have to defend him, man. We have to defend him.
You me feel
No,
that, and that's why
even
me
though
not
it's
pressure him.
egregious.
Me feel sorry for him, you know.
Yeah.
More than anything, me feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
So me not pressure him or bash him up. Me I say, come on, man.
Yeah.
If I did some world class, me don't need if you dribble through the, me need if you
Just
tap the
just
ball.
finish it.
If you lift him knee up, boom.
Yeah.
Simple thing. That's a one. And then we have to speak about progression. One of the main things, and again, Owen touched on it where he was saying that I think one of the things for Argentina, they probably need a better number 9 or somebody more goal-centric than just Messi alone.
No.
Many people they didn't
I
agree.
think Alvarez.
Exactly. That
And I think Martinez.
I wanted to
Martinez
plug.
kinda, well, I don't know if he got robbed in that
Perhaps,
Saudi
yeah.
game,
Mm.
but he has been consistent for Argentina the past couple of years as they've gone through the tournaments, as they've gone through that win streak. He's been consistently scoring. Julian Alvarez he's going to be a
Yeah, man. I
He's
just
gonna be a
wanted to plug my
he's
Man
going to
City
be a
ball.
problem.
Yeah.
He's going to be a problem.
Most definitely.
So I think they'll be fine
be
in that
fine.
department.
It's fine. I mean, but Messi is really on his way out, but
Yeah.
you know,
So
he's knocking on the door.
That's the bigger issue.
Mhm.
After this, where
Where do we go?
do they go from here?
But I know where Spain is going. We're already there. We're on the train into the
Yeah.
Yeah,
future.
Spain has probably done the best job
Mhm.
regenerating. Well, England,
England. To some
England, Spain,
extent.
France. They've done the best job out of the big European teams regenerating talent and integrating them into the setup to supplement or to push out the older players.
That's true.
Jeff, I know you have to run, a man of many tasks, but your thoughts for the 2 games today? Going for the Argentines and going for the Dutch?
Yeah, man. I need to see US lead this tournament right now. I love CONCACAF, but I only love CONCACAF when Jamaica is in it, to be very honest.
Mhm.
And if you just call me wicked and bad mind and bad heart, I don't want to see the US pass here. Big up
Wow.
Jamal and the Dutch.
Mhm.
I love to see the Dutch go through.
Yeah.
And Messi, you're my baller
Good
for
eye,
life,
mate.
bro. So I'd love to see you make it across the line also. But again, Spain for the World Cup, Japan for my dark horse. I mean, if we go down and just bet on lock the scene. I'm telling you.
All right, bro. You know, thanks for being on, and we'll definitely see you later today. And tomorrow, England game.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
forget,
I'll
don't
be
forget.
there. I'll be
All right.
there.
Yeah. All right. Let's use this opportunity to take some comments as well. Ray Stewart says, one of the best World Cups to date. Yeah, definitely. We've definitely seen that in particular as well. Like I said, if you go back to 2002 World Cup, remember, folks, there are some similarities. 20 years ago, France were out in the group stages of the competition. Argentina were also out in the group stage of the competition. South Korea defeated Portugal, so Portugal were also out in the group stages that year. South Korea went on to go to the semi-finals of that tournament. They defeated Poland 2-0, drew 1-1 with the United States, beat Portugal 1-0. They went to the round of 16 and beat Italy 2-1. They beat Spain on penalties in the quarterfinals, took on Germany in the semi-finals, and then took on Turkey in that third place playoff. So quite a lot of memories. The Italians round of 16 exit from that competition. USA going to the quarterfinals.
A man lost his job for that South Korea win.
Exactly.
Man lost his job.
Can you imagine what a job that Gus Hiddink did for his team? And folks, you know, based on the job that South Korea did yesterday, you know, it makes a massive impact in terms of their the conscription that they have to do back home. So less time that they would have to use. So less weeks that will be that they would have to be doing that sort of work. So Hyun-Min Son and company, so they can focus on football and enhancing the product. Can you imagine a victory over Brazil?
Yeah.
Public holiday.
Yeah.
Public
Yeah.
holiday in
Rapture.
South Korea. What a World Cup
man.
we have seen. The Americans are in action today, but let's wrap up the last two groups with Marshall before we look ahead to this game and give the starting 11. Brazil, Switzerland, Cameroon, Serbia, as expected.
Well, I thought Serbia was much more talented than they showed, but they've been disappointing the last few tournaments. So I shouldn't have. I should have expected what happened.
Right.
Switzerland, on the other hand, is very consistent. That this generation with Xhaka and Shaqiri and Shar, very, very, very consistent. They always get to the second round of tournaments.
Right.
So, good job to them. Good job to them, definitely.
Definitely. And finally, Group H, Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, South Korea.
Yeah, man. Uruguay, glad to see them out. Suffer ball. For a team that has the talent that they have, the level of or the kind of football they play is it's just it doesn't fit. You should be playing better football than that, I think. So I'm glad to see them suffer for that. So hopefully a new coach. I hear rumors about Bielsa, which will be interesting with Fede Valverde and Pelestri. That would be very interesting. Bentancur. So hopefully that will bring some more excitement to Uruguay, because they can play a lot better than they do. But yeah, South Korea. Well, again, not really that surprising considering the consistency. Considering again, they have same with Japan. They have a lot of players who have been moving into top 5 European leagues.
Right.
They have a couple players in Spain, a couple in Germany. So it's really good to see them being rewarded for that.
Absolutely. You know, South Korea, who I've spoken about on the show, you know, had a deep run at that Under-20 World Cup a couple of years ago. The Golden Ball winner, Lee Kang-in, that number 18. Trust me, guys, remember that name. Remember the name. Going to go far, far away. For me, one of the young players of the tournament with Cody Gakpo at this point in time. But we'll see as this round of 16 progresses. We basically just had a look at all of the groups so far, and now we have an opportunity to look at the group stages, the round of 16 of the competition. Just to give you the lineups, firstly from the American standpoint, Matt Turner, he keeps his place between the sticks for the Americans, and they've gone to that 4-3-3 formation. Let me just go through the lineup for us. Anthony Robinson at left back. At right back is Serginho Dest. Tim Ream and Walter Zimmerman, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa, Jesus Ferreira, Tim Weah and Christian Pulisic. On the Dutch side of things, it's Nopor, Timber, Van Dijk, Etanake, Dumfries, De Room, Frankie de Jong, Daley Blind, Klaassen, Gakpo and Memphis Depay. So, as we know, the Jamaicans, they're not at the World Cup, but we do have a representative at the World Cup. Yes, and that is in the form of Jamaican-born sports journalist Nesta McGregor, who is doing some work with the BBC. He's over there in Qatar, and he's giving us an insight as to what's going on within the country right now of Qatar. He's our representative over there. Let's hear what he had to say in terms of how is everything going right now over in the Middle East. So the Reggae Boys might not be over in Qatar, but we have our own representative in Jamaican-born Nesta McGregor. Nesta, how are you? How are things in Doha?
Yeah, I'm good. And can I just say, it's like just gone past 3 o'clock in Doha. It is about 30 degrees, but I'm inside in my hotel room with the AC on high, which is why I'm wearing this jumper type thing. But no, all is good. I've been in Doha now for about maybe 2.5 weeks. Definitely was quiet at first, but the tournament, after all the shot results and, everything else, it feels like I'm in the mid-level World Cup now. So yeah, all good.
And how does the heat compare to being on the island, or is it quite similar?
Do you know what? I don't know. So long story short, I moved from Jamaica when I was 9 years of age. I don't know how I survived the heat for those first 9 years. And I booked to go back in April, and I don't know how I'm going to survive the heat again because I don't handle it well. The only way I can describe it is in Jamaica, sometimes you might get a breeze or some shade, but this is a desert. And when people say a desert, 50 years ago, these skyscrapers and these buildings, some of them weren't there, and there was rocks, sand, and dust. And sometimes when you open a door, it's like a hairdryer in your face. It's humid, it's hot. The games, luckily now that we getting through, is starting at 7 and 10 p.m. at night. So it's a lot cooler. And all the stadiums have got AC, but it's the kind of place where you don't walk around in the daytime because the heat sucks all your energy out.
Yeah, and in addition to that as well, Nesta, I'm sure you'd remember 2002 was the last World Cup where we had a lot of surprises. France going out early, Argentina as well, Uruguay, Nigeria, even Croatia going out early. The surprises, the upsets, are you enjoying all of the drama?
Look, if you love football and you love sport, the reason you love it is because you'd like to think anything can happen. If you turn up to any sporting event where you already know the result, then are you going to enjoy the action? So, I mean, it all started with Saudi Arabia and Argentina, didn't it? And Argentina, one of the favourites to win the tournament. No one saw that result coming. And for me, that was the day the World Cup began, because it was just like, okay, the football is going to do the talking now. The politics is very important, but it felt like the things on the pitch would be what we've been talking about. I was at Tunisia, France the other day. Tunisia 1-0 winners. And that was, I know it was France's, let's call it their B team, but still they might have been expected to beat Tunisia. Japan, Germany. I mean, where do you start? Japan, Spain. Yesterday, I was at the Germany Costa Rica game where, they won, but I've never been in a stadium before where teams won a World Cup game and the atmosphere was so flat. It was just like dejection and tears and everything else. So I'm loving the upsets. It's the reason why I watch football, except when it's my team.
and off the field, how are things going in terms of fans being engaged in the fan zones, the food, the culture, everything? Do you feel like everyone is getting immersed in the culture?
Yeah, look, we can't escape that this is like a World Cup no other for so many reasons, Simon. We're talking about a Winter World Cup, albeit in, a hot destination in the middle of a football season, let's say. And then all of that, Qatar getting the World Cup was hugely controversial. The football development here is it's not what it is in other nations that were competing for the bid. 7 of the 8 stadiums they've had to build since at a ridiculous cost. Well, not ridiculous for them, but World Cup normally costs $15 to $20 billion. This has cost $200 billion. So that kind of just puts it into context. Then we have all the issues surrounding it. So, we have LGBT rights, migrant workers' rights, the role of women in the Middle East. So you've got all of that noise happening. And fans are being told, be respectful when you come to this country because you're entering knowing the rules. So follow them. I think maybe the biggest thing when we came was obviously 2 days before the tournament kicked off, the reversal of selling alcohol in stadiums. And for a lot of fans, it wasn't that the ban had been introduced. It was, you've had 10 years to plan this. Why is it taken 2 days before the tournament? But from what I've seen, and again, I know people watch the media and say there is a massive conspiracy. This is my experience from what I've seen. Fans have been massively respectful of the culture, and the Qatari police and security have been equally as respectful. So, you know, I've seen fans with their t-shirts off running outside stadiums. I've seen them loud, boisterous on the underground network. You know, I've seen women by the pool in bikinis, women walking around in bikinis. So it's just like, yes, we know the misconceptions, but in reality, and people will say, well, you're not going to see because whatever's been done that they don't want the media to see, you're not seeing. But from my point of view, both sides have been, it could be argued, you know, this might be one of the safest World Cups ever because of the amount of few arrests, should I say, or because of there being not alcohol and people are not intoxicated and maybe behaving in a way that they should. So that possibly could be a positive. But lots of women as well from all over the world. I think I've not seen as many women in football stadiums as I have over here. So yeah, I'd say again, my experience on the whole has been positive.
And, you know, I saw a feature that was done quite recently where you're trying to see if you could get to 3 or possibly 4 games in a day in particular. Do you think, like, knowing the train system, the tube, like back in the UK helped you prepare for this?
Yeah, well, one of the things that makes this World Cup unique as well is that it's in one city, let's say. Normally it's across countries where you have to fly. Here you don't have to fly anywhere. So the unique selling point for FIFA is you can see what they call multiple games in a day. During the group stage, there are 4 games in a day. You know, you can be love drunk, Simon, for being too much in love with someone, and you can be food drunk as well when you eat too much of the one thing. I got football drunk. Trying to see 4 games in one day, I don't want to say almost killed me because I sound dramatic, but imagine walking around in the heat, and then I think we got like 12 trains and, you know, like 4 buses, 1 emergency Uber. But the amount of walking we did was the equivalent of 23 kilometers, which I think works out, to about half a marathon. And I'm telling you, by the end of it, my feet were aching. It's a lot of walking because I've got to say again, this is a desert. So you've got the metro, which is the underground transport system. But then some of the stadiums, you need to get a bus after you've got a train and then a 25, 35-minute walk. It's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you'll be able to catch up some rest at some point, especially.
Yes. But my calves and my legs are looking good for it, and I don't do them in the gym anyway. So that's the plus side.
Nice one. And I mean, what's the mood like from an England perspective? Is there quite optimism heading into the round of 16?
Yeah, anyone that follows the English national football team, England, will know back home, the press we either enter a tournament where we're going to win it or we're not going to win it. There's never like an in-between of, let's just go there and do our best. It's all or nothing. So you imagine after the Euro 2020 final, you know, like there was massive anticipation to the World Cup, but the build up to it, the results haven't gone their way. So people didn't really quite know England are clicking just when they need to. But then we saw that disappointing 0-0 draw against the USA. But then you saw a lackluster five. So it's almost like no one quite knows where England are as a team. It's not like the Brazil and the Portugals that we've seen win the 2 opening group games and look dominant. So I'd say quite optimistic. Senegal in the last 16 is a team that England should beat. But if they lost, would anyone be really surprised? Perhaps not. So I would say it's kind of nerves and confidence at the same time. Like, yeah, if the two can mix.
I mean, you've shared some wonderful experiences, Nesta, about being on the ground there and everything. And I'm sure at the back of your mind, you might say, the next time this happens, Jamaica has to be there, because you can just imagine the support and everything.
Simon, the thing that hurts me most, and I've described it like this before, like the World Cup is like a good stew and you've got 32 different ingredients because they're the nations. So one of the most beautiful things is when you turn up to a stadium, yes, it might be Germany and Costa Rica last night, but you've got fans from everywhere who've got tickets. So you'll have Brazilian fans, Japanese fans, Uruguay, England. And I think I'm biased, but Jamaicans bring a certain uniqueness to whatever they do. It's funny, I met a guy called Sheldon Edwards, goes by the name of HD Cuts, and he's the barber to, you know, the footballers. So, you know, I spoke to him just before he'd gone into the England camp and the Swiss camp to do their hair, and was just saying, imagine Jamaica being here with the vibes that they bring, and how much we love football. And like Simon, we've spoken about this before. We know I remember you put out a list of all the players of Jamaican heritage going into this tournament. It's a dream team. It's an all-star. It's capable of winning the tournament. And it just feels like Jamaica need to get their act together, both the federation and kind of getting players early enough that Ivan Toney, they're not waiting until they're 28, 29, and England have said no before Jamaica says yes, because then you're trying to get people into a system like late on and trying to get them to click in one World Cup campaign, where if they've been playing for a few years together already, then you already have that chemistry. But we need Jamaica in the stew come 2026, the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, and just think about it for a moment, Nesta. You think about the Jamaican diaspora in the UK. In America and Canada, it's massive right there. So Jamaica's second favorite team already.
Yep. So I've been to Toronto myself, and you do get bits where it's like little Jamaica, where you get the Jamaican shops and the Caribbean food, and like you hear dancehall music, like wherever you go in the club, that's what it designates to. And we know, like, especially when it comes to Jamaican artists touring as well, like Canada is big on the map. So I'm intrigued. The one thing I wanted to know, and I haven't looked into this, and I was going to, is because we're normally in the qualifying group with those teams, do they automatically qualify? So does that mean there's fewer teams, CONCACAF teams, going through, or does Jamaica have a better chance because then you don't have to face off against those host nations? But we've got 4 years to get it right. There's no excuse, man. There's no excuse either way.
Yeah, of course. So basically, there'll be three automatic spots for CONCACAF, and the fourth and fifth place teams will head to the playoffs. And of course, that's excluding USA, Canada, Mexico.
Okay.
So basically, it's Jamaica against the Caribbean against Central America. So massive chance.
100%. And like I keep saying, 4 years from now, we shouldn't be really even looking at the squad now. We should be highlighting a few, I'd say 19, 20-year-olds to kind of bring in and say, look, in 4 years, you're 25, you're in your prime. Like, you are the guys that's going to get us there. You know what I mean? Like, Mikel Antonio is great, but he's coming towards the end of his career. There's nothing to say he's going to be still part of this in 4 years' time, for example.
Yeah. Well, my friend, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate your time. Enjoy the day, the round of 16 ahead. This is the point where teams start to drop like flies in the competition, so continue to enjoy it.
100%. It's worth saying as well, in Doha, there is a jerk shack, and I'm going to give it an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's good food. So there are Jamaicans here, not just me.
Wow, absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much, bro. Really, really appreciate it. And then we'll catch up throughout the course of the competition. Be safe. So that was Nesta McGregor over in Qatar, BBC sports journalist, born on the island, left when he was around 12 after GSAT, and the rest is history from there on in, giving an insight what's going on in Qatar and everything. It's that time, folks. It's that time where we commence our watch along. The Netherlands against the United States. Don't worry, those chairs will be filled throughout the course of the competition. It'll be interesting to see as well the reactions of our good friend Jamal Tucko when the Dutch scores, if they score, if the game goes all the way to penalties. But it's not something that he would want to see, in particular, a game going all the way. But, Michelle, I'll just get your reaction in terms of the lineups from the Dutch side and the American side of things as well.
Yeah, man, that American midfield is a problem area. They're poised to overrun the Dutch midfield just athletically. I said one time when I was on, I said Brendan Aronson was the best US player because I forgot that Yunus Musa played for the US. He is the best US player, so I'll retract my previous statement and correct that. Yunus Musa, Aaron McKinney, and Tyler Adams. Yeah. There's just too much there for a midfield of Klaassen and De Roon. De Jong is athletic himself, but he'll have a lot on his hands to keep up with those three guys. And we saw the Dutch have problems with Ecuador's athleticism and their speed in their group game. So I think we're poised for more of the same. It's going to be very interesting, and it's not like they've been particularly fluid going forward as well. So yeah, it's look, I have worries. I'm a Dutch fan and I have worries.
Oh, it finally comes out, folks. Michelle Turner is also a Dutch fan. The butterflies are coming out. Yeah, it's compelling, folks. Back in 2010, Captain America was Landon Donovan when he scored that last-minute winner against Algeria. And 12 years later, it's now Christian Pulisic, who scored against Iran. He's back in the 11, after his winner. He was taken off shortly after the goal. He is in the 11, and it's match time. It's match time, folks. So get your pen, your paper, your popcorn, your drinks. We're about to get started on this watch along. It's great that we have 2 Dutch fans with us as well. You know, myself and Kev are England fans, so our drama comes on Sunday. So we're looking forward to it, and quite shortly, you know, you'll be able, you know, to see the reactions of us as well, with chances and goals and everything of that nature. So folks, stay with us, join us on this watch along. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. You'll see Jamal quite shortly. I'll take some of the comments in the meantime. Damien Jones, is this the first time that no team has won all 3 games? If so, would you say the difference between the major nations and the middle is narrowing? Yeah, we had a conversation like this a few earlier with Mashal as well, in terms of the gap getting more narrow between the Europe, South America, and also the rest of the world. So this is the first time since the 1994 World Cup that this is happening. So 28 years ago, that was the last time that this happened in particular. So we're looking forward to it in particular, and hopefully, you know, we'll see what the future lies. But this is the last World Cup that we're having involving 32 teams. The last time... Travesty. I thought as a Jamaican born person you'd be excited about that 48
No, man,
team.
the 48 team thing is going to be a Frankenstein monster.
Really?
It's not, yeah. I think 32 right now, with the quality of the teams raising, is perfection.
I mean,
and I think this World Cup has shown that 48 team World Cup with groups of 3, yuck.
I mean, it's
Where's the
called
drama?
It's called the World Cup. Good morning, guys. It's called the World Cup,
Jamal.
which is, you know, so you want people from the world to participate, but it's the greatest show on earth. If everybody involved, then it's just something that happens. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah.
There's no jeopardy in it really.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at it. 3 out of the 4 CONCACAF teams that would have normally been available for the World Cup are hosting next year, and yet we still have as much as 3 to 4 people that can go. Then what's the point? You know what I mean? Like
you're gonna get a team
like Jamaica.
Well, I'm not going this us. I'm not going this.
No, not this, but it's a chance.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
the quality is going to deteriorate. The level, the gap. We're gonna see a World Cup next time where the gap increases. Where if we come back at 32 next time, the gap is gonna be smaller, even smaller than it is now. So
I think for the reasons that they wanted to have the 48 team World Cup, i.e. inclusion, I think despite all the drama and the politics behind the Qatar decision and even the South Africa decision, that was probably the way to make it the world's game. Just carry it to different places.
And if you want to talk about inclusion, take some of the spaces off of UEFA and give
there
it
you
to
go.
Africa
You know,
Asia.
even though like even stuff like, I mean,
Give Africa 2 more spaces.
that's the
Asia
biggest
2 more
that's the
spaces,
biggest
and
federation.
Take some off Europe, because some of these European teams are poor. They're poor.
I mean, there's no reason why, just calling a random name now. No, there's no reason why not Australia. I was gonna say Austria should have a space.
Yeah.
If we have, you know, even 6 teams from Africa that could have gotten a space as well, and we see what they've been able to do at this tournament.
Imagine Nigeria in this tournament over Poland.
Right.
What's
You know?
Poland?
That's what you're looking at. I think that would have been the better way to make it the world's game, bringing it to different spaces, giving more spaces to different regions, and that would be essentially bringing it to the world. When you actually just take the game and bring a whole lot of people in, it waters it down. You know what I mean? It's not the same quality. It's not the same tournament, because then it's not even groups of 4 anymore. It's groups of 3. You know, so it's like you bring in all these people and then you're gonna still whittle it down in that way. So it's like, why not just keep it where it was already? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, something really to ponder where that is concerned. And folks, you know, yes, remember it's a watch along, so you will not see, of course, the coverage or hear it, but you'll see our reactions when it will come up on the screen quite shortly. So it's something that we're going to look on quite shortly. So on our screens, we'll be watching it, and you'll be seeing our reaction as well. So in front of us, our television will have the game itself. So we'll keep you guys interested in things. Jamal, you looking forward to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I feel the same trepidation that Marshall is expressing. I would have never guessed at the start of his sentence that he's a Dutch fan. But no, I honestly, I understand the apprehension, but I don't feel the fear. I really think that we have the quality. I think that I trust in a Dutch team that is well coached and that is filled with intelligent players. Because yes, the athleticism of Ecuador rattled them, but then the athleticism of Ecuador is unrivaled. I feel they're Japan and Ecuador, maybe South Korea to an extent, but like those were some of the hardest working teams in this World Cup. I don't think the US matches Ecuador in that.
In terms of work.
Right. And so if we're talking about 1-to-1 in terms of running hard, USA is a drop off from Ecuador.
Yeah.
So then after that, now that's where
But
system, talent,
but then they
intelligence
also
comes in.
have a bit more talent, I would say, than Ecuador as well.
They do, yeah, that's a fair point. They do have more talent than Ecuador. But like I said, that's just where you're that is the Dutch from their perspective, having the ability that they have, the intelligence that they have, because that was Ecuador's advantage, their athleticism. If you take away that advantage, the Dutch
so
kind
it
of
would have been
compete more.
a good preparation
It would have been
for this one.
exactly, and we were able to hold them to a stalemate at least. So I feel like in a first of all a must-win game, you have to have a winner.
Yeah.
And then secondly, in a game where we're talking about less advantage, i.e. the athleticism, and now we're going back to just talent and intelligence and system, the Dutch have it over them. So I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. I didn't think it would be.
No.
It's probably going to be a 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1. I think the same way too.
Yeah, 2-1. But I wouldn't be surprised if the US win.
It's all right. You'll get over the line. So, folks, what we're gonna do, we're gonna show you a graphic as it relates to the round of 16. And again, give us a few moments so that we can set up and then get everything ready, and then you'll definitely see our reactions for this encounter and see how Marshall reacts when Cody Gakpo gets a goal or gets an opportunity. Is it gonna be excitement? Is it gonna be why I never put that away? Because as you know, with watch-alongs, you tend to see the human side of our analysts as well. You know, I've watched a couple of Reggae Boys games with Marshall, and I haven't seen that side very often. So I want to know if it be the same with the Dutch as well. Yeah.
I have too much pride riding on the Reggae Boys game. I view Reggae Boys games differently than other
Really?
games. Yeah, man. I'm looking at just judging everything. I just watch it very. I watch
Just
them
watch
very
it.
differently from other games.
Interesting. Okay. No, lots of people wouldn't see it from that angle. All right, folks. This is the round of 16 fixtures that are ahead. Give us a few. Stay on the stream, and we'll get everything sorted for you in relation to our watch along, which commences now. right, so the Dutch are up by a goal to nil. Memphis Depay. You should have seen Mashal Turner jumping up and down the department. Regain his composure now. Memphis Depay. As you can see, he's quite calm. Nothing to worry about. Yeah. Up and running. And folks, give us your thoughts in the comments. Ryan Essen says, goal to the Netherlands. Wow, the Dutch fans are out. You should see Jamal Tucker. He had on an orange shirt earlier. I don't know why he changed to the black one, but yeah, that's fine. That's alright. So folks, the Dutch are leading by a goal to nil. Memphis Depay in the 10th minute. Opportunity out wide. Daily Blind. So folks, in case you just joined us, the Dutch, they're leading the United States by a goal to nil. The US were at this stage 8 years ago. It was Belgium that eliminated them. 2010 it was Ghana at this stage as well. 2002 it was the quarterfinal stage that they went. Jamal has joined us, and so has my fellow England fan, Kev. They'll be hanging out with us for this game. And you guys will see this throughout the course, and you could perhaps join us as well for the discussion. You guys know what to do already. Go on Instagram, 876stream, make your predictions for the games, and if you're accurate on some of them, then you could get the chance to watch the games with us, hang out, and be part of our special package for the semi-finals and final. Yep, you want to stay tuned for that. Let us know your thoughts as well, folks. Your predictions for the game. The Dutch, they're up by a goal to nil. Will it stay this way? Will the United States equalize? We don't want to see that for Mashal and Jamal's sake, though. Maya says, on my way to get one of those front seats. Okay, cool. You know where to go. Can see Mashal's reactions. This was fun. Memphis Depay, 7 intercepted total receptions. So Junior Dest 4, Cody Gakpo 3. Memphis Depay. Yeah. It's interesting, the fans singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" in the stadium. Interesting. Why? Oh, Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, folks, and as you can see to my far right, that's Kev, the magician. He's here with us. Think so? Yeah, folks, I'm not sure if you heard what Jamal was saying, but he's saying that the US gave a lot of, look quite timid. Yeah. So just echoing what he said, really. Tim Weah, we saw him in that game against the Iranian outfit. Ornella's best friend. She's supposed to be joining us later today, so we'll see her as well. So Junior Dest so busy on the ball, opening 20 odd minutes for the US side. Folks, a reminder, the US, they haven't been to the quarterfinals of a World Cup since 2002. It's the last time that they made it to the last 8 of the competition. The Dutch, 8 years ago, they were at that stage as well. Last time they were eliminated at the round of 16 was 2006. Portugal defeated them. Their record against CONCACAF teams, nothing really to worry about. They defeated Mexico in 2014 in the round of 16 phase. Got the better of Costa Rica and penalties in the quarterfinals. So they got to the semi-finals of the World Cup in Brazil by virtue of defeating 2 CONCACAF teams. And here they are playing another right now. They've never lost to a CONCACAF team at this major showpiece. On the other side of things, the US against UEFA Nations, not the best of records. Only 3 wins, 12 losses, and 7 draws. We see Greg Berhalter already on his feet for the Americans. So yeah, the 3 victories that they've had over UEFA Nations was against Portugal 2002, England 1950, we don't remember that didn't happen, and Belgium 1930. At a World Cup? It's happened before, yeah, but just not at a World Cup. It's happened at a Women's World Cup. This was the women's final a couple of years ago. Yeah. Jamal says revenge. No need to fear, the Dutch are doing well, Michelle. Captain America is back, but looking quite like himself. Fire Girl says the Dutch 2-0. Wow. Wow. Is that a prediction, Dutch Girl, or is perhaps your stream might be faster? Tim Wheelock on the ball. We saw quite recently a photo taken of this bump of Darren Allen and his dad, the president of Liberia and George Weah. We haven't had a CONCACAF team in the quarterfinals of the World Cup since 2002. That was the US. Someone says Netherlands 2, USA 1. Okay. Jet Journalist says US dump up, no wins for soccer. Pains to say that word. Look at this. This is exciting. The Dutch on the ball. Memphis. He has options, doesn't he? Is it that? Similar to what we've seen at United. When he was at United. Scored 3 goals for the Dutch in this tournament, 1 in each game. Oh, clash of heads. What, another corner? Jeff, how's the drive going? Remember, eyes on the road. No texting and driving. Is that a stoplight? Okay, that's fine. No problem, Jeff. That's cool. That's cool. Just make sure your phone charged up and everything. Another corner from the Dutch. Ooh, and headed up by the Americans. They're still putting their trust and faith in Tim Ream at 35 in the squad, same way. There's only 3 players that are above the age of 30 in the squad. Tim Ream is one of them. John Johnson another. And another player in their roster as well. Everyone early 20s, mid 20s. What a strike from Memphis, eh? Good finish.
Bring that to Man United in January.
Ten Hag. Tariq Malacia. You see them as a contender, Masha? The Dutch.
I don't know about the level of control of games is not where I think it needs to be. But defense is solid enough.
Yeah, which gives them a chance.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, folks, the Dutch, they haven't lost a game since Louis van Gaal took over, which means that they haven't lost since going out in the Euros. I think it was the quarter-final stage to Denmark. Yeah, since the European Championships, the Czech Republic. Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah. And then Czech Republic fell to Denmark. Denmark fell to England. Yeah, folks, as well, if you have any questions for our guests as well, let us know. Your predictions for the game. You know, Jamal went to get some water to cool off that early goal. If they score another, you can definitely see the excitement he'll have. Kev is preparing his voice for tomorrow in England. So far, the Dutch with 71% possession in this game, the US with 10 in terms of 29% possession rather. Tables have turned. Yeah, folks, just a reminder, this is what we'll do for every game in the round of 16 of the competition. So we'll do another one for the Argentina-Australia encounter, Japan-Croatia, Brazil-South Korea, England-Senegal. Oof. I don't think the fans are ready to see me for the England-Senegal game tomorrow. France-Poland, Morocco-Spain, and Portugal-Switzerland. No, England has to stay in the competition. Or else German is going to have to host the show tomorrow. Yeah. Fire Girls is my prediction. Okay, you're going with USA 2, Dutch 2-0. Okay. Yeah, I think the Dutch should have enough to go through, but let's see what the Americans have to say here. So it's 33 minutes gone in the game. The Netherlands 1, USA 0. Just a reminder, the US, they've only won 3 games against UEFA nations at a World Cup. 3. Portugal, England, and Belgium. 1 in 1930, 1 in 1950, 1 in 2002.
Those don't even count. 1930.
1930.
1950.
Yeah.
Those don't even count.
Yeah. So the one against England, that doesn't count.
Man, those old statistics before football was a world game.
Minutes. How did the Netherlands score, said Jeff? A crossover to Memphis Depay. 2 touches. Bam. Into the back of the net. Yeah, as you can see. Marshall's Dutch friends giving him a call. But the US at this point, they're not out of sorts, you know. Yeah. Yeah, some folks asking if live reactions are going to be a thing now for the latter stages. Yeah, absolutely. And what a treat. We have 2 Dutch fans to see these reactions. But I can say so far, based on what we've seen, I haven't seen Jamal excited more for a goal than the Saudi Arabia one against Argentina. So, how will he support the Dutch side today? Any Dutch fans in the chat? Let us know. Any Dutch fans in the chat? Let us know. Virgil van Dijk. I must say though, Marshall, if there is a team that hasn't won the World Cup, that has never won it, that could a team that would win it for the first time, it would be the Dutch.
Yeah.
It is one of those teams. But Belgium is not in it. Good ball. Yeah, well read by Daily Blind. Mm. 39 minutes gone. Still the Dutch leading by a goal to nil. And for Marshall's sake, 45 minutes closer to a quarter-final spot. Believe it or not, that was Memphis Depay's 43rd international goal for the Dutch. So he's just 7 behind the all-time leader, Robin van Persie. So it could be at the end of the Euros in 2024 where he breaks that record.
Yeah, probably next year.
Next year?
Well, they have
right?
Nations League.
Correct, Nations League.
Semi-finals at least.
Semi-finals. Yeah, that's right. You know what surprised me as well, though, Marshall? Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, he never got to play. He never played in England. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but he played in, as you know, in Spain, Italy,
Yeah,
everywhere else except England. Now, that's one player that I'd love to have seen playing in England.
yeah, I think he would have fit as well.
Yeah. Bit unfortunate.
Only tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was talking about control,
Oh, yeah.
but I guess this is LVG Mourinho control, defensive control. When I speak about control, I'm talking about Spain control, ball possession, moving the opposition, manipulating them. But this is, I guess, it is control because it is comfortable right now. But it's not my type, not my
Style.
not my type of control.
Yeah.
I see Daily Blind get burned.
At left back, though,
speed.
I would expect him to play a bit more centrally. I didn't expect him to be
left wing back.
left wing back, yeah.
Because his progression ability. That's the thing.
Is it that Malacia couldn't play that role?
Really probably have to start. Probably don't want to play him there now.
No. Okay.
So maybe after this, qualifiers for Euros, he'll start getting some more minutes. And then even then, he needs to get more minutes at United.
Yeah, because Luke Shaw has overtaken him in that picking order. That's true. Tim Weah has been pegged back throughout the course of this first half quite often.
This was born in Holland, wasn't he?
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Serginho displaying against
And
the
you know
coach.
what? He
Yeah.
would actually fit this system. This
That's
as a
right.
wing back.
Yeah.
If they were playing with the 5,
Mm-hmm.
which they are now, he would have fit this system.
Yeah. I often wondered, why the Dutch didn't.
He probably made the right decision for him himself.
You think so?
Because
Yeah.
there's definitely a greater chance of him, which obviously has been the case of him locking down that right back position in the US team.
Okay.
Keeper has been very assured when called upon.
It's funny that Van Gaal went into the World Cup without an established number one. No Tim Krul and those other guys. 3 relatively inexperienced persons. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he manages. Oh, you're supposed to listen. Strike from the Americans.
Oh, no, Memphis. Oh,
I think he'll catch it,
Struggling.
Yeah. Burst of pace. But the quality of the pass, though.
No, but it's not even that. There's not enough players getting up. It's just Memphis. Fast and late. 2-2.
Like we're gonna have 1 minute of stoppage time. When was the last time we saw that?
Oh, put the ball across, man.
Oh! The Dutch are 2-0 up. And it's Daley Blind that has put them in front. And again, Jamal misses another goal.
Denzel with 2 assists.
Dumfries with 2.
See, but this is you
Yeah.
see them get up into the box. That's more people need to be getting forward into the box.
Precisely. So that's 2-0 up for the Dutch.
And right before halftime too.
Best time to score. Captain America.
Pressure on the Americans. Check this out. Throw taken quickly. This is when Marshall said it's time to lay possession off. And watch the run.
Oh, good finish. That's a finish.
Where was the defense of the Americans?
Yes,
Nobody in the top of the box. It's the same thing for the goal, the top of the box. Same thing for the first goal.
But you see, this is what I tell you about Dutch in terms of them system. So when they have a system worked out, it's to the detriment of the other team. Like they know the weak points, and then they're intelligent enough and disciplined enough to use the system on a regular basis to exploit the gaps. And that's what happened here. So they identify maybe that top of the box thing, and then they say this is the path, and they work with it every time.
And folks, just like that, it's half time. The Netherlands 2, USA 0. Memphis Depay in the 10th, Daley Blind in the 45th. But it is advantage Oranje.
And you were worried.
No need to fear, the Dutch are here.
Well, by playing deeper, they negate the athleticism. Yeah. And blocking off the lines in midfield. So.
Yeah. Yep, that's 2-0 for the Netherlands as they go into the halftime break at this point in time. Memphis Depay. We haven't seen Cody Gakpo just yet, but just a reminder of what we were saying earlier. Memphis Depay, that was his 43rd international goal, and that's 7 now behind Robin van Persie. As Mashal was saying quite earlier, very much either in the Nations League or next year, that could be broken. Very much so. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, 42 international goals for the Dutch. Patrick Kluivert, 40. And Dennis Bergkamp, Arjen Robben, 37. Quite a list to be with. And Memphis' goal, it ended a sequence of 20 uninterrupted passes, the most on record for a Netherlands goal at a World Cup since 1966. 20 passes creating that goal. Clearly breaking up the Americans there. The Dutch now, well, they're unbeaten in their last 19 World Cup games against non-European opposition. 13 wins, 6 draws, with their last such defeat back in 1994. That was the quarterfinal against Brazil. So, confident bunch of players here for the Dutch unit. Marshall, you don't need to worry about penalty kicks for this game.
Well, we never know, you know. It's been a World Cup of strange things. So.
I mean, I thought that the Dutch would have too much for the US to can cope with, and so far 2-0 up going into the half. They look comfortable as well, and they have a lot of possession. Like they're controlling the game. I think that's something that they're not used to or not able to deal with, not having control of the game. Because remember their qualifiers and even the matches that they tend to play for their friendlies, they'll be playing opposition that typically they would be the ones in control of the ball. You know,
Right.
in CONCACAF, it's pretty even Steven between them and Mexico, most games. But then playing Canada, playing us, playing anybody from the Caribbean, most of the Central American teams, they would be in control of the ball. But against an opposition like the Dutch, you know, where they're playing on the back foot at all times.
No, but they're not. You know, the Dutch are letting them have the ball because we drop the line deep, let them have the ball. You see the two forwards coming out wide in defense. So it's a line of 6 and a line of 4, basically. And they like break that down, which they're not able to do, and then that negating the athleticism.
Yeah.
So there's no spaces for
them to run into.
To get the ball and drive into a space. Can't do that.
They'd have to depend on Pulisic with his ability to dribble through the lines.
No, but this is where a game where you need Gio Reyna or Brendan Harrison. Those are the guys.
Well, don't say it too loud, because I don't want them to figure that out.
No, man.
But I mean, you have nothing to lose at this point. You've been the American fans have been balling for Reyna, rightly so. And he's been saying that, you know, it's not the time to use him when we're in control of the games and we're trying to defend him.
What?
No, but
You play
it's
best
the
players.
same conservative mindset that Southgate has.
Right.
But you have nothing to lose now. I'll be surprised if he isn't on at halftime.
I'm sure they'd want to make some changes at least. For the Dutch though, I don't think there's
No, nothing to change.
nothing to change. Other than maybe freshening up the team, probably giving some people a rest. But even then, I always thought that was like a weird concept, to be honest, in a competition like the World Cup, where you say, giving them a rest. Outside of like that final group game, if you already gone through, where you give people a chance to play.
But here's the thing. So, well, these guys played 3 days ago, but like Argentina and Australia. Well, no, these guys played 4 days ago. They played on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was
so they had
Tuesday.
3 days of rest. But Argentina and Australia only get 2 days of rest. So it's a bit. But then after this, they don't play again till Saturday.
Yes.
No,
Friday.
Why I say it's strange is because in my mind, you're coming into a competition like this. First of all, you have to be fit enough to be playing the competition, right? You're at the peak physical condition as a human anyway, because these are top level athletes. You know the competition runs for at its longest about 6 weeks. You're playing 7 games at the most during that time. Sure, they'll all come quick and fast, but the point is, you just go out there. You know what I mean? I understand you want to rest some players where necessary, but for example, because I was saying it just now, and I was saying I'm on like Blin now, who play every minute so far. Could I get a rest? But no, you can't. I mean, you probably could because there's enough cover, quality cover. You could play on a different left back, give the whole man a sit down, right? But what I'm saying is, like, your best players is who you want to be playing at all times anyway. And giving them a rest, could be the catalyst for the team getting back into the competition. Right? So it's just, in my mind, I never quite got it, because I'm saying, like, look, you're the ones that's going to have to be carrying the team to where they need to carry it. You know, it's a team game. So, of course, if for whatever reason you need to come out, then you come out. Somebody else comes in. But the point is that if you are who you are, if this is the competition you're in, these are the things that it takes, you just have to do it.
But then, I mean, situational too as well. So, you're scoring next goal, 3-love up at 60 minutes. You can,
Yeah, you can afford. But wait, see, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like giving somebody a run, like giving one of the young youth them in the squad, maybe one of the older guys who probably this is their last hurrah, giving them a run.
Right.
I understand more than saying you're gonna give a man a break, because you give him a break now for 30 minutes, but we'll play again 3 days from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the plan is definitely going to come off.
Yeah, and I think that's
fitness.
Right. That's
so
fitness.
Bergwijn will come in.
You think Bergwijn?
Yeah. Unless
And-
he's injured.
And I feel like going with Berghaus, Weghorst would be better, because hold up play, and at that point in the game as well, maybe you can rely more on just swinging across.
But you'd want the speed, because at that point US will be pressing, pushing,
Right.
getting forward.
Well, then you
spaces for
maybe you
for
bring on two of
Bergwijn to
them,
get
because I'm not thinking it's just Memphis would come off. There are 5 changes after all. So maybe you bring on both Bergwijn and Weghorst, because now what you have is somebody who can break, but then you also have somebody who can hold the ball up to allow the team to come forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Quite a
then
bit
further
of
to that,
options.
instead of the intricate passing moves that you have to orchestrate to get to the edge of the box or to the final third to actually get something,
Right.
you send Bergwijn out there, Weghorst in the box, aim for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't think of too many American defenders who can live with somebody like him, because he's not one of those like what's my guy from Germany named Fulkrieg or something like that. He's not like him in the very, very traditional number 9 sense. Weghorst is actually somebody that moves, so he has that lumbering appearance and aura about him, but presence, but he can actually move around as is necessary. So yeah, he just puts it up there and give him something to work with, and I think that's probably all you'd need in terms of trying to see out the game.
Yeah, and just a reminder, the options that the Dutch have, they could also rest their defenders if needed. You have Matthias de Ligt on the bench, Stefan de Verge is on the bench as well. You know, the guy spoke about Bergwijn earlier. Luke de Jong is available. Noah Lang, Justin Billau, Type Malasia, Vincent Janssen, Weghorst, who you heard them speak about, Kuppenmeyers, Kenneth Taylor, Xavi Simons, who has attracting interest, you know, based on what he has been doing thus far, and Jeremy Frimpong. So quite a depth of players that the Dutch have at their disposal.
I didn't realize Xavi Simons was anything.
Yeah. So there you
It'd
go.
be interesting to see. All right, so him now.
Yeah.
I'd give him a chance in this game.
Yeah.
I'd give him a
Yeah.
chance in this game. I'd see
Mm.
what he can do. What's his name? Van Gaal is known for that, you know, and he's very good at doing that, identifying those young talents that
Mhm.
are that just need that push.
Right.
He did it with Depay at 2014 World Cup.
Right.
You know, a lot of people didn't really know of him that much in his PSV days outside of being linked with one club or the other. You know, then he comes down in the 2014 World Cup, did what he did,
Mm-hmm.
and got himself a move to Manchester United.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit of a cheap move because the coach just went to United and took
Right.
him.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean. Like he does that a lot. So it would be interesting to see how a player like Javi Simmons can come onto the world stage and do something as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It kind of fits. You know, if he actually did come on against the US as opposed to if he came on against some other team for whatever
Mhm.
reason, it just feels like this is the game that he should be in.
Right. Yeah, the US side of things, they have Giovanni Reina on the bench, Brendan Aronson, Ethan Hovarth, Luca De La Torre, Aaron Long, Jordan Morris, Christian Roldan, Shaquille Moore, Haji Wright, Cameron Carter-Vickers, DeAndre Yedlin, Kellen Acosta, Joe Scally, and the man that used to represent Jamaica, Sean Johnson. Those are the options available to the Americans on their bench. Is it still halftime, folks? Second half will kick off in a few. The Dutch, they're up by 2-0. The two Dutchmen to my immediate right, they're very happy so far. Speaking about the adjustments that could be made if a third goal was there, that would give them a cushion, the Dutch that is, in these proceedings. If the Americans were to get back, certainly there would be a few nerves. There would be on pins and needles, but they have been in control of proceedings, and they would agree with those sentiments.
Yeah. A 2-0 lead, they say, is the most dangerous lead in football
Mm.
because it gives you that false sense of security, right? But you're not out of reach, you know, because as I say, one goal and they're back into the game,
Yeah.
immediately you're under pressure, even though you're leading 2-1, right? You're immediately under pressure. And then of course you're thinking, oh well, we're leading 2-0, so it's all good. But, you know, it's not as cut and dry as that. But a 3-0 lead is not unassailable, but it is definitely more comfortable. You even have room for error
Mm.
in that case. So I think that's probably what they're going to try and do, the Dutch. They probably want to get into the second half and then try and get an early goal in the second half, at least, to then settle proceedings.
Im says bye-bye soccer. You know, the USA are going home. He says Dutch all the way. So it's good to see the Dutch fans in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Which team do you support? Which team are you? Is your team still in the competition? Because you might go across the island, and I promise you won't see a German flag being sold. Same for Belgium as well. Uruguay, not many Uruguay fans on the island, but certainly 2010 there were quite a bit. So after today, we'll be down to 14 teams within the competition, and then 12, then 10, then 8, a 2-day break, and then we're back again on Friday for the quarters. And after that, semis, and then the ultimate final itself. What a tournament that we've had so far. Well, let me just repeat that this is the United States I'm referring to. They're the only CONCACAF team left within the tournament. So if they're eliminated today, then CONCACAF will have no more representatives at this tournament. And quite a jump that they'll have at the next tournament. They started off with 4 teams at this tournament. Costa Rica, Canada, Mexico, gone home. The next World Cup, Michelle, minimum 6 and potentially 8. Can you imagine? At the next World Cup, you have a group. The Netherlands, Jamaica, and Japan. Because you're going to have 16 groups.
And it will only be one advances, right?
Top 2. Yeah, because you're going to have 16 groups and 3 teams
top
in each.
2.
Right.
32. Okay.
Yes, so you're going to have a round of 32 and then round of 16. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But as you know, the dynamics, it's 3 teams in a group, so you're going to have a situation where Jamaica might play their 2 games before
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah.
And
I just
Yeah, it's
I just can't understand.
Winners and for who? So they're going on.
I can't understand the 48 team World Cup thing. Just
Class
nothing
and
about it would
Euro.
actually makes sense to me.
Huh.
Mhm.
But I mean, whatever. We'll be there. Should be anyway. So
Hoping,
I'll just take
yeah.
it as it
See,
is
very
and
nice
enjoy
out.
it.
Mhm.
Had to come on.
Arena?
Yeah.
Yeah, had to come on.
How much difference do you think it's gonna make?
I don't think much. Well,
We'll give them a bit of zip in
Yeah.
their way.
and he'll be one thing. He's a dribbler,
Yeah.
so he can unbalance and destabilize.
Mm.
So Gakpo now dropped into the 10.
Mhm. Yeah, just to give a little insight for those as it relates to that next tournament itself. The tournament will open with a group stage consisting 16 groups of 3 teams, with the top 2 progressing from each group to a knockout tournament, starting with a round of 32. The number of games played will increase from 64 to 80, but the number of games played by finalists remain at 7, the same as with 32. So 2 group stage games, round of 32. Okay. Each team will play one field group match under the previous format, understand that. And the tournament will still be completed
Keeper.
within 32. Big keeper, yeah. Alright. And folks, I know you're wondering as well, will future World Cups also be November, December? No. 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 June, July will be the next tournament.
You know what? It's not such a bad. The timing.
Yeah.
The quality of play.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Quality
saying.
of play.
I'm not opposed to it.
I'm
No.
not opposed
Yeah.
to it.
No.
It depends on where the host nation is, that's
yeah,
what I'd say.
that's what it
I
would
said
depend.
no.
Because you can't take it to America.
No.
You
It's
can't
a-
take it to Canada.
It is.
You can't take it to America in
Guys.
December.
Yeah, you can't
Guys,
take it.
Yeah.
it is a summer World Cup. That's all it is.
Yeah, but we can't go to Australia and have it say, hey guys, we're going to play it in June. That's their winter.
I know. Then don't carry it to Australia. It's a summer World Cup.
But you know.
Even the South Africa World Cup, that should have been. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because that summer is there, winter.
It is
Yeah, good point.
a summer World Cup. If an don't want to keep it in a June or can't keep it in a June, I don't get it. Simple as that. There's so many countries in the world, they don't have to go to these countries. Because there's still other options. Hell, that might even be the impetus to
Switch.
improve the game. That might be the impetus to improve the game across the world.
Mm.
Instead of like saying, oh, we can go to Australia because it's big, or South Africa because it's, you know, that country in Africa, so to speak. Like, then improve Ghana. Improve, I don't know, anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to go back to South Africa. No.
Not for now.
I mean, the next World Cup in Africa will probably be like Morocco or Egypt.
You right? Yeah,
Correct.
good point.
Yes.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, North African. Yeah, North African, yeah.
An Egypt World Cup would be cool. Can you imagine the design elements with the pyramids and the mummies?
Yeah, that's true. Memphis?
Good ball, no?
Nitro says
It's not
USA,
dead. Oh,
USA,
what?
USA.
Way
Come
too
on,
clever,
Nitro.
yeah.
Why are you supporting USA?
Bruh,
Let us know your thoughts.
too skilled, you know, that with him. Who that support the USA?
Nitro in the comments says USA, USA, USA.
I must be New York, isn't it?
Well, Baltimore town. Huh?
Hey Kev, Joel will be here soon, so I'm gonna ask you to let her in, alright? Alright, big up. Captain America. Oh my.
Off the line.
Off the line.
Well done.
The Americans close to getting one back.
That's so pitiful, though.
Pulisic
Come
again.
on. Alright, well done, Keith. I don't know who was worse there, the attackers or the goalkeeper. The attackers. Attackers for sure. Keeper looked frazzled a while ago. Inexperienced, you know, normally you the best keepers, they would be out of the game for a long period, but they're ready at any given time.
Wide or wide?
Or the middle there. Yeah, look how long you could do this.
I just says USA.
Oh!
Can you believe, Kev, that he wasn't selected at all?
Oh, Stephen.
Yeah, Zach Steffen.
Because
He's not playing a ball, bro.
Is Birmingham here?
On loan, yeah.
Yeah, you can't pick them on the. if you're
Yeah,
not
coach
playing,
basically said if you're not playing for your club, then you're not going to stand a chance.
It's safe keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I would have had him in my three.
Goalkeeper,
Because
I think you can.
Can take up. Yeah, exactly. 'Cause I mean,
Because you take on three of them.
Romero was the number 2 for United for so long, but he was
Argentina.
a mainstay.
Yeah,
Couldn't get him out of the goal. Yeah.
that's true.
It is slightly different as a goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you're in a situation like Adahea or Henderson,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with teams that have multiple options, multiple quality options.
Right.
See, this is what you don't.
But you see, this is what 3 at the back gives you. We're already in place to defend.
Yeah. You know, centrally it's going to be difficult.
And they force them to do that. No, yeah. Yeah, but just like I say, you're assuming he has talent. I know the man that reached so far in a World Cup, in a football officer.
Jamal, you know, Marshall made something, very evident to me. You know, Serginho was actually born in the Netherlands.
Yes, he was.
So would you have taken him to represent the Dutch?
No.
No?
Nothing about him. Father and son. Nothing about him
Yeah. Danny and
exudes Dutch
about him.
more than him name.
That's about it.
Yeah. And which part him born?
But as a right wing back.
No.
Yeah,
No.
as a right wing back.
First of all, there are better options.
Like what Dumfries and then
And Tim Buck would have played out there too.
Timber, that would be a waste.
I mean, you could play, but they have Delict and De Vrij.
No.
Them man, they
Delict-
could have played.
Delict- You said Delict get shoved alongside his way with him.
Since he went to
the
Juve.
first match day.
Still though.
Sarr is way with him. And that was, I think that decision was mainly because of the size of Sarr versus the size of Delict versus the size of Timber. But Timber is a much better player at this point.
And I wouldn't
in that right centre back.
I wouldn't argue because of how the right centre back needs to play in the system.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if we're just going back to the initial question, I don't rate Dest at all. It's the worst to put him in my team.
Okay, you made the right choice to play for the US then. All right.
Choice.
Choice, yeah.
Who him that go play for Netherlands? You would have never get a game, brother.
Yeah, but you're not the right choice, I'm saying. Because
It was an option, he
he
said.
wouldn't have been a starter.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think he had a choice in the matter because it's either that time he's never ever played international football.
I think he would have played.
You rate him?
But that's all.
Not anymore. Okay. A couple step overs. No? Western Mickey.
Well, they're growing into the game, but that's probably because the Dutch start slow.
Yeah.
But you see, they got up the field and they had at least the one chance. They should have They should have put that away.
Before the game.
Yeah. So by the time them start do all of them things, them feel like them under the pressure already. This is
Right.
USA.
Here's the thing, if they get one, that US mentality will kick in. So, need to get that table.
Quickly, I think. Because otherwise you're going to be under pressure this whole time.
Virgil van Dijk, captain.
Then, is that football conversation done? Are the comments back upon?
Oh.
Is that his
USA.
analysis?
USA has Marvel superheroes not over yet. Oh, Captain America. And Christian Pulisic.
They have a wizard in McKinney.
Just amazes me that there's no more Tim Howard, no more Clint Dempsey, London Donovan.
Yes.
Yeah.
That works, bro. Yo, it's crazy that Memphis. What? Oh, that's very well.
Memphis.
Yeah, they have that. But just like I said, it's crazy that they're not that big, but they use the strength very well.
The center of gravity,
Mm-hmm.
and they know how to position themselves to hold off the defenders.
That's such a poor decision, bro. Okay, so the fact that Burgoyne came in and he's now playing alongside Memphis, it's clear that we're not going for this third goal necessarily. We're expecting the US to come onto us and then we're going to break.
Well, maybe.
Or if it comes in a sense.
I mean, it makes sense. It's an option. And then probably by the time you change tactic, take off Memphis and bring on my guy, Veghorst. Oh, Janssen getting another team.
Vincent Janssen.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's like scoring goals and things for his club, but come on.
Trust and faith from LVG.
Good lord. God alone if you have blind faith in him, I don't trust man, so.
And for everyone tuning in, guys, share the stream, share the link with a friend. Let us know your thoughts as well on this game and the ones to come.
Okay, I'm trying to get back on track.
Get us to 100 likes and you'll see Jamal and Mashal's celebration to a Dutch goal. Trust me, you want to see it.
Who else came on, Marshall?
Cool miners.
Okay. Okay. Interesting that they started with him, but then that's the pragmatism of Van Hal there, because I generally I would start Berghaus normally.
Burgos played more as a 10.
I know. I just feel
You'd have a player. What's his name there? With the English name.
Kenneth Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you put in somebody in the double.
I just feel like Klaassen and De Jong are equipped enough to can move forward and backwards comfortably. And then if you have someone that is solely creative as Berghuis, you know, you get the benefit of having that.
That's a better.
Well, yeah. Fair point. I just felt like he was playing wider as opposed to centrally in this game. Because especially now, the middle of the park is where you want to kind of get that control. Because Reina is on, this man is still on the field, Pulisic. McKinney is still there. And they're not playing very wide right now. I don't know if you guys realize. Like they're trying to go centrally. I know. Yeah, because in my mind I thought that's what they should have done. They should have gone wide. But if that's what they're doing, and I think like if you have somebody in the middle that can keep hold of the ball better, it would be.
So if you go wide, you have to go cross it.
Well, good point.
Cross is going to have to be those low crosses behind the defense.
The talent is through the middle anyway, so it makes quite a bit of sense to do it that way.
Balkan. Nice head away from Van Dijk.
I think it was Gakpo actually.
That's good.
No man, I got one. Van Dijk was there, but he never got there. So Really, come on, if you don't get a card. Oh, the yellow card will go against Simon. After this round, they get chopped off or quarterfinals?
After quarters, yeah. Yeah. So if he gets a yellow card in the quarters, then he would miss the semis.
Semis, right.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you had gotten one already, actually.
Oh. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, the only one in doubt is Idrissa Gueye is out for the game against England tomorrow.
Would that rule still be in place in the next World Cup?
Yes, it will still be in play for the next World Cup as well.
No, I mean, like, would they... Come on. Next year, that should have go still.
Exactly.
Who was breaking just now? Alright.
Nitro says USA
From this
midfield
I got
looking
them.
bad.
From this, no?
Oof. Just a chance.
Oh! Good
What
try,
a
boy.
chance. Matt Turner.
Sure. JD didn't say I played with him.
Yeah, it's true. He did say that on Monday, yeah. One time.
A good striker, moving. I
Very
thought
good
you'd
strike.
roll it outside to then get the cross, but wicked strike.
Nitro says US midfield looking bad compared to what they did versus England, or England's midfield is overrated.
Yeah, we said it earlier. Yeah, we said it earlier, man. That first of all, they weren't playing as much as they did in those games. But then, yeah, it's just the type of game. The system, different.
Oh! Matt Turner. I'm surprised he didn't come on for it.
Is that foul call for that?
And I hate, that's one thing I hate. This
What, protecting
this
goalkeepers?
Over-protection.
Yeah, that wasn't a foul.
Over-protection.
Yeah, because he had his hand on the ball. He came out
Over-protection
and
of
dropped.
goalkeepers. You can't challenge for a ball. You can't challenge at all. Like, so a ball go up and the keeper come off it and just leave it on there because it's going to be a foul. That's not football, man. At least keepers stop coming out when I was growing up. Come out to your knee up.
I'm saying the ball and the man.
These keepers stop coming out like that.
Kev, she's outside. Yeah. What's a ball? Go on.
Go on, Denzel.
Oof.
Ooh.
No, no foul to me.
Should I pull the trigger earlier?
Should I cut it back or something?
Yeah, he was trying to get his steps to shoot.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think you might get that.
Yeah.
That being said, the defender looked guilty. Is he still down? No, he's up.
So this is
Yeah.
trying to stretch out.
No, don't foul him.
Tip ball.
Timber.
Gakpo moved more central, you know. He was still playing out wide until a minute ago.
No, he's from the change. He moved into the 10.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what I say is like he was still operating out there. Shouldn't have been, but he was. I think somebody probably talked to him. Because that's what, remember I was saying one at the time, where's the middle? Because there was nobody in that space. That was probably why the US was getting so much joy earlier at that point, because the space was empty.
She's in her car outside.
I should have
She need help with us. She need help with the bags. Hadji, right?
Hey man, Dumfries, what I look
Yeah.
Not come after? Ow.
And the last guy to score for the US in a round of 16, Julian Green, back in 2014.
Goodness.
How time has gone by so fast. Strike from Memphis and Daly. Yeah, many people have been asking, who is this Haji Wright on the US? Actually plays in Turkey right now. Did well to just get into the team, to be fair. Played a little bit with former reggae boy Deva Orgil at Antalyaspor. George Weah is out, McKenny is out. And we have some company.
Now it's a party.
Now it's a vibe. This should be fun. Yeah. Nitro says, I think England's midfield is overrated. Really? Bellingham? Rice? You know what would be interesting? If you had Bellingham, you had Rice, and you had James Madison. Because Rice... Or you could go with Rice, Phillips, Bellingham. So there's that. So that's an option as well. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
No. I drive out to St. Anne after this.
Yeah. Yeah. 22 minutes left, and the Dutch are up by 2-0. 20 minutes away from a quarter-final. Close by, Marshall, close. Not too bad. Oh, good turn. A ball in. Oh. Thank you. Hey, folks, look who it is. And that folk. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, Good tackle there. 20 minutes to a quarter-final spot. Thank you. Yeah. No, you haven't missed much. Just 2 goals. It was Daily Blind. Yeah. More placement than power. Yeah. It's funny because the US started the second half so brightly and then kind of faded. That's true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, they did start on that note as well.
Such a bad touch, man. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Jamal took it. Yeah.
No,
And
that's fine.
back-to-back saves from Turner. Could have been 3, but yeah. Good ball. They have one more. Literally a second.
No, no,
Offside.
Lynn was outside.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. At the end of this game, sort it out. Oh dear, England tomorrow. Yeah. The funny thing is where they've had the ball. Majority has been out wide.
Yeah.
Because the Dutch just clog everything in the middle. One, two, three, four. It's like a maze. Look at them running. Yeah. Textbook Louis van Gaal. Okay. Gio Reyna.
What's he saying? You got hit?
That's what he's saying, yeah. That he did get hit, yeah. Yeah, folks, so if you want to join the watch party, you guys know what to do. You guys saw the post earlier on 876 Streams Instagram, and you could join us on our watch party as well. Oh, and just walk in front. It's fine. It's a watch along. Come on,
Let's
Alexi.
come take a seat.
What do you mean you don't want to get on camera? Have a seat. Yeah. Yeah, the England. Oh, look at this from the Americans. Around the keeper, button. Haji. No? Oh.
No, sir. I said no. Just from the other side.
DeAndre Yedlin. Sergio Dest is off. DeAndre Yedlin comes on. Ball. The Americans are getting closer. And it's in. The Americans have pulled one back. Had you right, the super sub. That's what happens when you're on the phone, folks. Goals are scored. And now the fans saying USA.
No, too late. The French back was made. Sweden did look bad. But the second part wasn't
Argentina or tomorrow? The Argentina game or tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. USA. Literally. Well, it's set up. And now Marshall is at the edge of his seat. But the warning signs were there, Marshall, you know? Pass. Release. What a ball. Good come by Rupert. Nitro says, like 2002, Brazil will win. Will they though? Will they? Minutes to go. Nice ball through. Oh!
Should have taken a touch our own.
Of the commentary. Full kind of turning time, really low. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Oof. 12 minutes to go. Yes, folks, this is the compelling stage of the competition where there's extra time and penalties. And that means another half an hour. Should USA get another, yeah. Yeah. US. This part of the side, yeah, exactly. In the semifinals, yeah. Or USA, Australia. Nah. Yeah, Simmons is gonna come on. Nice. Yes, Xavi. Louis van Gaal looking very, very livid. Seems to be a pep in the step of the Americans right now. Pulisic wants the ball on the left, and he's not getting it. Anthony Robinson. And another corner for the Americans. Switch. Heads up. I mean, when you're 6'8", you're gonna catch that. Precisely. Ball comes in. Oh, wow. Is that onside?
Yeah, man, must be answer.
What a goal from the Dutch.
Yeah, man. He was
That was
wide
amazing.
open, nobody here. You see him put up into wide open.
And just like that, Tuchel pushing his back.
American wing back's weak.
Yeah. Denzel Dumfries, a man that played for Aruba this time last year, now at a World Cup with the Netherlands.
Look at him.
Wow.
Look at him.
He's free.
Yeah, because Gakpo has dragged the left back.
Look at that. Tim Ream is like, where was the defense?
Where is there a fence? Very funny question.
It's all right, Greg. You're gonna host a World Cup 4 years from now. You don't have to qualify.
And I think Connor was mentioning it's just not this is just not their year to qualify for quarters.
Exactly. Now we get to see Xavi take the field. He's done such a great job from his work at PSG as well. Finally get to see the teenage sensation currently playing the straight up PSV. Memphis Defy comes off. Gets the pat on the back from Louis van Gaal. Yeah, there are a lot of predictions in the comments. 2-0 to the Dutch. 3-0. Didn't say 3-1. Still another 8 minutes to go. That is true. I don't think Louis van Gaal.
At this stage,
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. Well said. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing that was right, though.
Jamal. Yeah.
He left on the
Yeah. Yeah. Every time Jamal leaves, a goal is scored. Yeah.
every time Jamal leaves,
Every time.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And here comes the Americans now. What's going on here?
6 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Turn. Okay. Turn. Okay. Good ball. Oof. Bicycle? Oh, adventurous much. Yeah, what was your reason? Yeah. Agreed. South Korea. If Australia scores first against Argentina, wow. Mm-hmm. Good win, yeah. Against France, right? Mm-hmm. Wow. It's so amazing. In all of their games, they've scored first. Yeah, in all of their games.
When do cards reset?
Quarters. Yellow cards when they reset, so you don't. Yeah.
So it resets after this round.
Right.
Okay. Two.
Two. When you miss the next one, yeah.
But if you get a second one, no.
Right, you'd miss the quarters. Yeah. No.
Cash
No.
reset after the group stage.
I would agree. That's perhaps something that would be looked upon next World Cup. So, like, for example, Ghana doesn't play versus England tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
J'avais that.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, he just came on recently. Pass.
Simon, I didn't catch a response to my comment yesterday. But I was saying, given how weird this World Cup has been,
Yeah.
I can see a first time winner coming out of this one.
And a first time winner, I was speaking to Marshall earlier, would be the Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't shock me in the least.
No, Portugal
Morocco.
as well.
Yeah. Like to see Morocco.
It would be cool. It would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Well done, boy. Football. From this, sir. Better
Come
touch
on,
there. Come on, man. Ah.
All that winding up and
No, I didn't see it.
You got it? Maybe they cut out the extra time.
straight to penalties.
Why? Why?
New
Since
rule.
when?
New rule.
Since when?
20 COVID. COVID, yeah.
This is a waste of time.
Yeah.
These guys.
Oh. It's part of the football, man.
2019, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did that month.
A part of the football, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Done this, yeah. In my mind, whenever me say a competition, we go straight to penalties and a serious competition. Like if you're a serious competition, if you have extra time,
By the rules of the game, yeah.
that's a part of the problem now.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's a part of the problem now.
Yeah, I said do everything.
Right.
Yeah, for the Walker Cup.
No?
No, but this is not, as I said, this is not.
Is that where this will come
but
from?
here's the
Is
thing.
that Morris?
That's the problem. We're not supposed to be
Yeah.
picking an under 20 team from schoolboy football. We're supposed to be picking an under 20 team
From
from
clubs.
club football.
Well,
Club
that's what it
football
should
is
be.
where development is supposed
That's
to
where it should be.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So,
the state of the
No,
football
but-
in the country now is such that our best conveyor belt is schoolboy football.
no, but it's but how good is it? You who is put up the thing?
Sports maps?
Yeah.
Graphic with the
When
schoolboy,
they-
top
when
school,
it's-
top 10 schoolboy
Where
players.
are they?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Gregton Charter. Where is he?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
So what is the point of schoolboy football? I just
But-
want you to run around.
Alex
No,
went to
but
Germany and,
this-
you know.
This is the thing though. It's not a matter of schoolboy football. What's the point of it?
Mhm.
Make more out of it.
No. It's an extracurricular activity. It's just like a man join choir. It's just like a man
It's
join
not
school
like-
challenge quiz.
No.
It's the
Sad, but it's
same
true.
thing.
But
It's the
but
same
how is
thing.
it true, Simon? Do we have players here in this World Cup who are that age, and it's not because
Yeah.
they happen to be that age and they're
No,
that good.
they're
They're
at clubs.
professionals.
Yes,
that
they're-
is their career.
and they're club-
Why,
and they're clubs.
why couldn't they have the same opportunity? Why we couldn't have them have the same opportunity? Because we're telling them that it's a co-curricular activity.
No, because it is. Because this is you develop through your clubs, and I, in my position, can tell you why the clubs don't do it. But that's an obvious conversation. But yeah, the clubs. It's supposed to be the clubs.
If you think about it, after schoolboy football is done,
Mhm.
when next you really see that age group playing like very
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about.
The club is not.
It's not bringing them for right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said
Well,
that
as-
it is.
No, but
In an ideal world, that is what it should be, and I accept that, and I agree. In fact,
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, you can't cut off your nose to spite your face.
but here's the thing. You know how club how schoolboy is not serious. You play for 3 months. If you're lucky, you play for 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And
So that's not serious.
Next one.
That-
Most 2/3 of the players play 10 games or 8 games and then they're done.
Mhm.
That's it.
Marshall, so I can read the website, man, because we had a conversation about this, and it's something that we talk about on the podcast, and I've written an article about it where we actually look into how the schoolboy system can be adjusted so that you get more out of it. But that's what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying that they need to completely revamp the thing so that it is a football league, because there are students, I understand, but the point is, well, I know, but the point is, you have this that already exists. You have maybe not all infrastructure necessary, but you have a system already in place, and you're not going to build a new system for them can go play the youth level Premier League or whatever, right? You have this in place, do it better, so that even though it is a co-curricular activity, as it were, when they move from that stage, they're at least better prepared to get into the next one. Because right now you tell them, say, oh, I just took a fun thing after school something, and then you expect them that in 2 years time they're filling a national team. People ball and say, oh, Whisper on the side, Whisper not playing a football, eh? You get my sense? So there needs to be something where it's set in a way that they're actually being able to benefit from and develop from the football at that stage, so that they're not just thrust into the deep end when they get into even the Premier. Like, can you imagine if you left, you play for JC, and that's the point that I'm making. There's nothing that can happen differently unless you make that change there. Because you play for JC, Georges, Woolmans, KC, all of these top schools, and all the ones that country as well, right? You play for these schools up until you're 18, 19. And then you can't even make a Premier League side. I'm not cast for aspirations for the Jamaica Premier League, but if you can't make a Premier League side, my friend, I wouldn't need to go play international football. Never mind actually go play in a MLS or USL, and not in a top about Europe. And as you say, at 18, 19, it's already too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not too late, but you get it, I mean, you're very, very far behind. There's a dearth.
And one of the things is, I just talked about that. One of the things is a lot of the footballers and going to the track, and so it's not, they're not stuck into one sport to develop their one sport, so when I go straight into track
I know there's sports as well, yeah.
It's not the same. It's definitely not the same where you see, and we talk about like, we talk about general clubs that we know worldwide, Arsenal, Manchester United, Barcelona, that has done international camps, they field people from like 8 coming up, and they're consistent.
That is it.
And that
My
is it.
side.
The Dutch are through to the last 8. First team through to the quarterfinals
I was
of
never
this
worried.
major showpiece. You weren't worried at all?
Never.
No, you was
Never
all
worry,
right.
you just didn't need to the one.
I had to play my part, you know?
Yeah.
I wasn't
Play your
worried.
part.
Yeah. Wasn't worried. LVG.
Yeah.
Godfather.
Don't look happy.
He never looks happy.
Yeah. Never. Not even when United won the FA Cup.
Yeah, he had a bit of joy. There was a bit of joy
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That probably was too much for him.
We'll see the US in 2026.
I literally had no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Literally.
No doubt at all. All right, folks. That's where we wrap up this watch along. Join us again at 1 o'clock where we have a pre-game show. And also watch along for the Australia versus Argentina encounter. Yep, that is right. Because the winner of the Netherlands game will go on and face either Australia or Argentina. Thanks so much for tuning in. Join us again at 1 o'clock. Share the link with others as well. See our reactions to goals. Trust me, you'll all enjoy it. Again, thank you all so much for watching. We're back again. All right. Say bye-bye. All right, guys. Take care.